So
I
like
will
it. That's
watch
bold.
Marion Cotillard in absolutely fucking anything to begin with, and she is really, really, really good in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I think you should add Matthias Schoenaerts to that list too. Schoenaerts to that
He's
list too.
also he's also I think this is like the is this the third one?
I think it's the third one we've
He's
done with
got a
him. Yeah.
thing because this character is not tremendously far removed from that other movie we watched.
I've spent
Well,
the whole movie going, Jared keeps picking movies with these generic crew cut French guys. He looks just like that guy from that other movie where he was a security guard, and he's also
Yeah,
a security
No,
guard.
he looks identical to him.
but
It's,
those
that
char
well,
these
that's
characters are very different. These two
yeah.
characters are very
Are
different.
they?
He looks
I would
identical
argue
to
the
himself.
guy the
Weird.
guy
He
is
looks the same. The guy is different. The character is different.
I
The
mean
actor is different.
No, the actor's the same.
ish.
Yeah.
He's much more of a piece of shit in this one than he is in
Oh,
that other
oh,
one.
it
He
is.
certainly
It
is.
is.
the opening.
Yeah.
Well, thing is, the
Yeah,
opening
this is two
montage with
movies
him
about
like,
people being assholes to their kids.
yeah.
Oh,
Here's the thing
God.
I want
There's
to
a
say about
long
this
theme
movie.
of
Well,
this.
And
That's
it-
tonight's theme, isn't it? Being
Yeah,
assholes.
And the
Yeah.
other one, he's
Yeah.
actually a really stand-up guy.
Tad,
Here's the thing I want to say about this movie.
In their defense, Tad, they were both kicking the chair.
Imagine imagine that they had given this script to almost anybody else. Because this movie does a knife edge for the entire, to me anyway, the knife edge the entirety of its running time. At any point, it could tip over into Hollywood sentimentality,
It could
and it
tip over
just
to be it could tip over
does
to be
it.
it could tip over to be maudlin, or it
Yeah,
could tip over to just be brutally
Cruel, basically.
like
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it
There was a
really
cruelty in this
does it.
film. That's like,
Well, the thing but also what I found interesting, and I read a couple of similar takes, was that its depiction of, I don't know what you would want to call this, poverty or extremely lower working class living
Low
was
rent.
pretty starkly refreshing. And I mean, these are particularly, maybe not so much her, but everybody else in this movie is just like trying to like scrape by.
oh yeah,
I think this
And
movie does a much better job of it than the next one.
yeah.
That's one
I
thing I will
don't
say.
necessarily disagree with you on that one. I just, but you know, it was also constantly surprising. Like even when I was questioning her motivation, like, wait a minute, like she's basically gone from feeding Shamu to managing street backyard fights. You kind of like, all right, that's an interesting. But
Well, follow your bliss, man. Come
I'm
on.
just, I'm still with you. Like I'm
Follow
still
your
like
bliss.
you haven't lost me yet. Like this is still
Yeah, there's actually that.
in the context of the character.
No,
There's actually that shot of her on her legs, and it's gangster as fuck, dude. Slow mo.
Yeah.
She's walking through the crowd of dudes counting
Yes.
the fucking money.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
I really like the scene where
this one.
Mm.
Mhm. I really
That
like
scene.
the scene where he's sitting in the car and she's off doing the business,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then like you see her start to walk away with the cane, and and you see the bottom of the prosthetics sticking out of
Yeah.
her pants,
Yeah.
and all the guys are still kind of like they're like, I don't know, I'm attracted to her, but this is weirding me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe I feel bad for her, you know. And then she gets in the car and he calls her RoboCop.
Yeah.
Like, That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was
That's a
really-
great scene. That really,
I really like that scene. But this is going to tie into the two things I really didn't like about this movie. One is I didn't really care about the MMA stuff that much.
Wow, that's
Like-
surprising.
Yeah, which is funny because I like MMA. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it just, to me, I liked the other stuff better. I liked the like working as a security guard, working at the club. Like I liked this idea of him being a little bit more washed up,
yes.
you know?
The ending is a false note for me. That's like my only real like, oh shit, really?
And I the stuff, you know, it starts with a horrific accident, it ends with a horrific accident, so it has this kind of like symmetry to it that I think is really interesting.
Oh, also notice that these accidents happen in bodies of water.
Right.
Main characters need to stay
Yeah,
away
no,
from
it's
bodies of
very
water.
it's the,
Yeah.
the movie is very
Bookends.
symmetrical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
And
There's that things rhyme in this film and repeat.
right.
It's like, yeah.
And So I just the MMA stuff just kind of didn't work for me.
You
And
think it
then
was
the
the way it was
other,
put together? Because I couldn't follow the fights very well.
yeah, I think it, especially after rewatching Creed last week, which
Yeah.
has such a perfect sense of how you do a fight scene in a modern
Yeah.
movie.
Hmm.
And these felt kind of dreamlike
Oh,
and
impressionistic, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, and
impressionistic. And it just
I think just
with the
like the rest of the movie, though, I do think that's on purpose.
Hmm.
but I think the rest of the movie is so realistic and focused
Hmm.
that took me out of it. And so then I want to shift a little bit to the other thing, which is I didn't think that the two of them had particularly good chemistry. And it took me out of the movie on several occasions. And I've been thinking about it all day. And I'm like, why? What don't I like about this? Like, these are great actors. I love both of them and everything that I've seen them in. Like, what is it about the two of them? And so I started reading about the movie, and I think I figured out what it is. She was constantly flying to America to shoot whichever Dark Knight movie it was. And um, they didn't have very much time to rehearse together, the two of them. And I think it comes through a little bit in the performances where it feels a little bit like they're not quite on the same page.
Yeah, you say your lines, I'll say my lines, and
Right.
we'll
I'm
get
not
there.
talking about the characters not
No,
being on the same page. I'm
no.
talking about the
No,
actors.
this all goes into two levels. This is you're talking about, the upper levels when you think the characters are sympathetic, are
Yes.
compatible, and that comes and goes in this film. Sometimes they
Right.
are. Sometimes he wanders off with some other girl and breaks her heart and the whole 9 yards. So,
Or just leaves town,
or just leaves
like
town. But the lower
when
level
his
with the
sister kicks him out.
but
Yeah.
chemistry, the real chemistry between actors, that's important. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah,
if
and
it's
I
not
just felt
there,
like he was lacking a little bit
I can
here.
name
And
lots of films that are wrecked because of that. That were
yeah,
just like there's nothing going on between these two people, and you can tell.
everything that they do independently in this
Mhm,
film is great actors doing great acting,
mhm.
and the two of them together felt like mediocre actors trying to do great acting. And it just it works occasionally. I think the sex scenes work really well.
Yeah,
I
I
know
agree.
Marion Cotillard has said that this is the first movie she ever enjoyed doing sex scenes in. Um, the I think the scene where she's on the floor, and
That's for the
like,
bathroom, that one.
yeah,
He
Yeah,
picks
I
her
think
up.
that scene's really good.
yeah. Well, the effects are
The
amazing in film.
CG's crazy
It
good.
is crazy
Yeah.
good. I couldn't believe it. Well, two things about this. One is the beginning of the film, the montage on the train, where you see, what's his name, just scrounging garbage to eat with his kid, right?
Uh-huh.
It
Yeah.
was like it was fun. After a while, I was like, okay, you want to talk about defining a character. He was
Yeah.
super well defined at the end of that. That was like, I knew exactly where this guy was coming from, how absolutely on the bottom he was, and how everything is going to be rebuilding after that, which is kind
Yep.
of neat. You don't see that very much in films. And the other thing was Marianne Cotillard.
Oh,
Her.
yeah, yeah.
I predict in maybe 15 or 20 years in this world, a French woman's going to be running everything. French women have an amazing power. It's like intelligence and beauty and grace, and it's like, I'm
Well,
sorry,
it's not
I'm
Le
gushing.
Pen.
I'm gushing, but it's like it's watching her watching her act was pretty cool. It always is.
I
But
love the character choice of
Mhm.
her having right and left tattooed on her
Yeah, that
legs.
was
Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's so cool.
It's like
Like,
this movie doesn't have a lot of jokes, and that one doesn't even dwell. They don't dwell on it. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
right.
he did this.
Also, how do you fall into being a whale trainer?
I
You
don't
go
think
to
you
school for it.
fall into that.
Okay.
You go to school for marine biology,
Yeah,
and you
because
get
that's the thing.
hired.
That's what they actually threw me off a bit, because one of the things, the people who are around whales and train them and were friends with them, they usually have degrees and they have like a lot of connections in that world. So actually, it was kind of paid off when she went and visited the people at Marineland.
I thought she
When
was
she's
going
all
to go
better.
back to work.
She's all better.
That's what I
Exactly.
thought.
But
Instead, she
it,
decides she wants to go be like,
go be like a leg breaker.
yeah,
That's like, all right.
She's gonna fucking run Lionheart, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, she's
She
gonna go
always
be
got that
Mickey.
scar
She's
on her
gonna go be
knee.
Mickey.
When she had her knee worked on from when she was a teenager, she had a football accident. She's got that big scar on her knee, and she likes to tell kids when they ask what it is. She always says she got bit by a tiger.
That's right.
Like Marion Cotillard's character has such a good story.
Yeah.
Anywhere she
Well,
goes,
I think it's interesting that in the
An orca
book
tried to
that-
hump me.
yeah,
in the book that this is based on, her character is a man.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and then two, he loses his legs, because the whale attacks him.
Mhm.
I think it bites his legs off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did kind of wonder, like, what happened
There are
there?
some punches pulled
So-
in that thing.
What happened?
This
what
was
happened
a
in this-
structural damage.
Yeah, it looked like
The whale hit the structure, which fell apart and crushed her legs, and they had to
So-
amputate.
I gather
Probably crushed
what
the whale
happened-
too.
that's
What
implied.
happened in this?
Yeah.
What happened
Thought
in
the
this
orca bit 'em.
movie is that they had to rework that scene very quickly because there had been a death at SeaWorld in Florida, and there'd actually been an injury that occurred at Marineland in France. And they were like, "You cannot get in the water with these whales. You are not allowed to do that."
Yeah.
So they had to rework that scene into what it became, which is why it feels a little weird, is because that's not the scene they were planning to make.
No, it was almost felt like a redirect. It's like
Right.
you're not gonna really see what actually happened.
Yes.
That was
I don't agree again. I don't think this guy does anything unintentional as a filmmaker.
maybe.
yeah.
I
Sometimes be the
This is
reality
our
of production.
third. This is our third, right?
This is our third. His best still, and my favorite, is A Prophet.
Prophet's pretty
That was a
fun.
hell of a movie, man.
That's a hell of a movie.
We did also The Beat That My Heart
The
Skipped,
piano one.
Yeah.
and now this one.
When he's and it is funny because he said that he wanted to change. She was the only person he ever thought of to play this character, and he's like, partially I wanted to cast a woman because A Prophet was all dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. But it worked. I think it was.
I liked it a lot. I mean,
Yeah, me
like I
too.
said, I was impressed with how it towed. It really did. Like it could have tipped over. Like, I don't know. Imagine this movie going to somebody like Ron Howard or something like that. I mean, they would have just been like treacly
No.
fucking.
It would have been
melodrama.
like-
Not enough
I
of a
mean-
disaster. It needs to be more of a disaster for Ron Howard.
It would be like a
I could
comedy
see
version.
Spielberg doing it.
I just thought, I mean,
Yeah,
like
Spielberg or Howard.
anybody else
Yeah.
would have fucked this up.
It would have
Really
been
would've
comedy
fucked this up.
version of Cinderella Man.
Well, Chris
He is
nailed
an
it.
MMA
The
fighter.
thing-
She lost her legs to a whale. These wacky kids are gonna get together and have some
No,
fun,
it's not that. It just would have been. It just would have been sentimental, and that's what one
Yeah,
of the
this
things.
movie is remarkably unsentimental all the way.
Correct.
almost to
Yeah,
the
they're
end.
always
Until the end, the very end.
Till the end. It's like that's why it's like no.
But see, I think it kind of
Yeah.
earned that though a little
The
bit.
last
I don't
30
think I don't
seconds,
think
I
it
was
did.
like, no.
I don't think it did.
You know what's weird? It's like
But
But
honestly,
actually-
I think tonally it's a little wobbly all the way through, and it's not just the ending that's a little corny. I think there are other moments. It doesn't help some of the music tracks that were used. I don't like it.
Yeah, the music's not great.
Yeah,
The
There's a
score
couple
is
of needle
great.
drops
The
that
score is
really
great.
draw attention.
although John,
to
this is
themselves, not in a good
John,
way.
this is a structural question for you. The idea about the point of the highest set of success in any screenplay usually happens in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
Before the second act crisis happens, right?
And this felt a little bit like one of those kind of movies. I mean, we're talking about
Yeah.
crowd pleasers where it's like you kind of feel the beats coming.
Yeah.
And so when they were at that point where everything was going pretty good, I'm like, okay, looking at my watch, going, what bad thing's going to happen now?
And he just
And
wanders
sure
off,
enough,
which is like, but the thing is, the
His-
highest sales success is actually in the coda at the very end. That's unusual.
it's a comeback after
Comeback,
it's a
yeah.
comeback.
It's just
highest
like a,
success before the disaster, and then
I
another.
don't know.
moment
That
at the
kid
end.
probably should have died. I mean,
He did.
that was a bit of a stretch.
yeah. No, well, cold water will preserve your.
He was in
I
a coma.
guess.
Mhm.
I think this is a well-made movie. I think it's not super deep, and
No.
Especially, it's hard not to compare it with the other feature that we're going to talk about.
This like yin and yang. This is two movies that are like this.
But they're very different. And the thing that's different, and I'm sorry, I got to talk about Beautiful for a minute. All those characters who are living even in worse conditions than he is, she's in sort of a middle class situation.
I agree.
And he's lower class, I would say. But they're very one-dimensional. He has two drives. It's like he likes to fuck and he likes to fight. And there's not, he takes care of his kid. You know, he gets hungry sometimes. Beyond that, I don't know anything about him.
The love develops very slowly with him.
Has he ever read a book? What's his favorite song? It doesn't matter to the filmmaker.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying when it compares unfavorably to the other movie because Javier Bardem and everybody else in that movie, even the minor characters, have these rich inner lives. They have more than one thing going on. They're not just there to serve a plot. You know what I'm saying? It's just when compared to the other one, which is so rich, this felt to me, it's like that main character is not super interesting. I don't know anything about him except these basic drives. He's, okay, here's the thing. Suppose it hadn't been Marion Cotillard. Suppose he had driven home a girl he wasn't attracted to that night from the club, or a fat girl, or a man. If a man had called him up and said, "Hey, remember,
or an octopus."
We met a couple of months ago. I guess lost my legs in an accident. Would he get on that scooter and drive across town to help that guy?
He wouldn't have given that man his phone
number.
Yeah,
his phone number.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of pulling objections out of the air in that this is the story. I'm critiquing a different story. I'm just saying it's shallow.
I do think it's interesting though that they are, for most of the film, interfering waves with each other.
Yeah.
And by the end of the film, they stop interfering with each other and start adding to each other, because it starts with him being much more into her than she's into him.
Yep.
And then he kind of comes down the back side of that as she's going up the other side of it. And then you have the scene where she kisses him. Right. And then he kind of is like wobbly through there. And then the thing with the kid happens, and then,
I think that's pretty realistic because that's the way.
That's like how life works. Yeah.
That's the way.
Right. No, I'm saying I think that's good. I think it's good that they do that in the movie. Is that it's not this sort of like, a lot of times in a romance like this on film, what you have is we don't really like each other. Maybe we have sex because we're attracted to each other, but whatever.
Like a rom-com kind of a...
Right. We're going to split apart. We're going to come back together. We're going to split apart. We're going to come back together. This movie doesn't do that. It shows this very realistic sort of courtship, anti-courtship thing that's happening that then ends with the two of them together at the end. And I liked that.
Yeah, the relationship is happening while people are trying to repair and develop their own lives.
Right.
And so it's
like a rom-com because he calls her a whore. That's like the first thing he does.
Yeah, he does.
It's just like a whore.
I have a separate question. This is like for Jared.
Dude.
I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
I've lost track of the number of films we have seen that were shot in the south of France. The thing is, okay, they make a lot of movies in the south of France, and also the biggest film market in the entire world is at Cannes every year, right? Do you think there's a link there?
It's the Mediterranean.
I think
it's a pretty warm place. It's a pretty nice warm place with palm trees.
But nice weather. It's easy to shoot.
They're trying to make
this was kind of the unglamorous side of the south of France, don't you think? I found that part refreshing.
The Antibes.
Why wouldn't you want to go shoot a fucking movie there?
And wait till you see Barcelona in the next movie.
I know Antibes is actually pretty nice. It's the gateway to Italy. It's really pretty.
I've been to Barcelona. I was never in any of those places.
No, I'm with Jim. I was there about 5 years ago and missed a great deal.
Although I did recognize the Ramblas because we'll wait till the next movie.
I think we've talked.
I don't know. Jim didn't go.
Well, and also Jared didn't conclude. So
yeah. I don't think we're done.
Anything
Jim's corner.
I mean, I liked parts of it and didn't like parts of it. I don't know. It was fun to watch.
I think it shows a lot of craft. It's no profit.
It's no profit. Yes.
Prophet was one of them.
I think you guys are. It's hard for me to
Take it
articulate.
seriously.
No, it's hard for me to. It's hard for me to articulate what's going on in my head because
Don't explode.
you guys are like, you know, extremely smart cinephiles. I feel like you're judging this against sort of the wrong. I don't know how to say this. I think you guys
with those people.
I think that you're judging it. I think why this movie works and is good is precisely because of all the reasons that you guys don't like it. and what I mean by that is like if you're gonna have a Katy Perry song in your movie, if it was an American movie, it would play it up, it would do this like fucking thing and make it feel like this amazing. But instead, this guy is like, I'm gonna make it feel like just like when you're walking into fucking, you know, Six Flags and it's on the shitty
Marineland, basically.
there,
Yeah.
and it just feels like trash, and you can smell the Cinnabon, and you can fucking
Jared, that's the actual song that they use in that in the show.
Right. I'm just saying, like, this is all on
Had to pay
purpose.
for the rights.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's completely unsentimental, which has been said. I think the fight scenes again. I think this guy knows exactly how Americans film fight scenes, and he says consciously, "I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to do it the way that that's all." That is even like
brutal.
satisfying, you know. And I do think, we all love Marion Cotillard. I think that
she needs
this
to run
is one of her
everything.
best performances. Like,
She needs to
I think
run the
she's
whole
doing some
world.
of her best work here.
Really good.
I think this and maybe 2 Days, One Night are her absolute best performances. And I just think that, like,
I think her performance in Inception is spectacular.
It is.
Yeah, and
I think this guy has a different way. I think what's happening with this movie sort of is it feels like an American story through a French lens, and I like that.
Yes.
I agree.
That's
I
why
agree.
I keep saying, imagine if
That's
they
why I
given the
kept-
script to Ron Howard or somebody.
I kept like seeing the Ron Howard Spielberg's peeking through in places, and I guess that's
Yeah, I like the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm going to take what would sort of be American, but I'm going to do it this way.
Hey, don't lump me with these guys, man. I thought that was
I just want to point out that those are not the
the
things.
ending is like, I love you, and then we sprint.
Well, I guess that's the one part.
Fade out.
I kinda
Oh, that's
stuck
great
myself.
still.
I love you. Fade out. It's like
No, that was good. I thought it was good.
everything's great.
No, I think
Well,
I
you
do
want to
think-
fade out because otherwise you're going to see.
Honestly,
what a
I would
shitty
have.
life
I
they
could have cut it at the,
Yeah, no
at the end of the
shit,
phone call.
Jim.
And yeah,
I was
and
afraid to
you know,
black
They're
out
gonna
the phone
fight
call.
all the fucking time.
Otherwise,
Mateus,
you're going to
He's a
find out how
dickhead.
badly fucked up his hands actually are, and the
Yeah.
fact that he's
Yeah.
not going to be able to hold a glass of water in 4 years.
like
Yeah.
I love the
Mateus-
fact that the reveal was at the very end of the film. It was the Sheraton Hotel Warsaw.
Yeah.
Thing is that actually it means that he's successful.
Right.
He's moving
Yeah.
up. And
Well, he's got to fight.
Well, he's
Yeah.
successful in Poland.
He's such a magnetic, like, I know his character isn't super deep in this, and it wasn't really even in but he's one of those people that, like, every time I see him, I think he's mesmerizing.
Hey, you don't watch
magnetic. I
Rocky
wanna
for
know-
Rocky's wisdom, It's the same thing. It's like
I want to know what's going on in
No,
that
you
guy's
watch
head.
Creed for Rocky's wisdom.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think it's not a perfect movie. I do think A Prophet is better, or I like it more.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I think that this guy makes some really good films, and I sort of like this weird sort of American, esque story taken through the French lens with this like very realistic, kind of gritty and unsentimental and
If they
beautiful
had cut
performances.
the movie at the end of the phone call, I would
Right, where he says, "I love you."
even more. Like, I just cut the whole him becoming successful.
Well, you know what I liked about that end more than them being
Smash cut after the
together.
phone call.
Yeah,
But you know what?
Chris.
You know what I liked about the end more than them ending up together, which is nice. But there's a shot when he's doing his press conference before the rolling door or the rotating door, where his son actually is showing affection to him.
Yeah.
Because throughout the movie, and
He's kind of cold to him the entire
yes,
film.
throughout the movie, and appropriately so. So the son doesn't really like him
Calls
that
him
much.
Ali all the time.
And there's the scene at the very end when he's doing the press conference, and the son actually comes up and is grabbing his hand, and, like, holding his hand. And I think that accident, of course, and I know that's kind of a crutch, but that accident is what brought them
being
together.
pulled out of a frozen lake will do that to you, man.
It is, yeah.
All right, well,
What did you say, Jim? They calls him something all the time.
He uses his nickname instead of calling
Yeah, he calls him
Dad.
Ali. He doesn't call him
He
Dad.
calls
Yeah.
him
Calls him
Ali.
Ali.
That's interesting. This distanciation, you see that a lot in movies.
And
It's the
I've seen
Bart
that
Simpson
with
always
kids.
called Homer Homer.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It really bothered him too.
And I've known somebody who called their mother, by their first name too.
I did
It
that.
just seems weird.
I asked for it. It was the 70s.
Yeah.
Hey, I
You
called
only,
my
I'm from like, you only do that when you're like mad at your mom, you know, you're like, or your
Right. And they
dad.
use
I called
both
my
your
dad the-
names.
I don't think I ever addressed my mother as Francis in her whole entire life.
Oh my God, I did it.
No, I call my
for
mom
most of
Lonnie
the
when I'm
70s.
mad at her. So
Yeah,
it's like, but at my dad, I would call him the old man. Hey, old man, how's it going? But he
Yeah,
was okay with it. It was the 70s, right? Just like
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure.
But okay, thumbs.
I mean, I'm like really almost like, because with the
This was
exception of,
very
like the
enjoyable.
last 2 or 3 minutes, I thought this movie was great.
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit.